What I'd like to talk to you today is about flat feet. A lot of people are walking around with very flat feet, and this is an example of a flat foot right here. This bony structure right here should have a nice arch in it, and instead it's gone flat. And this is an example of a better foot. This is a little bit better. It's not quite so flat, but the arch isn't quite up where it belongs either. Now this picture is an anatomical picture from a textbook of a foot that is supposed to be perfect. So here we have the plane of the floor. This is the undersurface of the foot, and this is the inside edge of the arch. And here's the distance from the floor up to the inside edge of the arch. So why do people get flat feet? Well, first of all, they walk around on hard surfaces, and they wear shoes that distort their foot. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's all I can tell you for now. So what happens when the foot falls down, it causes the ankle bone to rotate in. And because that bone is notched, it causes the leg bone then to rotate in. As the leg bone rotates in, it opens the inside surface of the knee, and the outside edge is closed. So there's uneven wearing in the knee. This communicates up through the thigh bone into the hip, and the hip, instead of being in the socket, is rotated out. So now you have a destabilized pelvis, and this leads to problems in the low back, mid back, upper back, neck, and shoulder joints. So it's all due to the foundation, which is the foot. What I've talked to you about so far is strictly structural misalignments. And what that leads to in the low back when the pelvis becomes destabilized is it blows a fuse in the body. And this fuse causes three muscle groups to be turned off. And the three muscle groups are the abdominals, the gluteals, and the quadriceps. So now that these muscles are turned off and they're not functioning, three other muscle groups in the body become too tight. And that's the iliopsoas on the left and the right side, the quadratus on the left and the right side, and the erector spinae. So now we have the person with a dysfunction going all the way up the body, and it also, the tight muscles interfere with how the organs are working. So what we want to do first is we want to correct the flat foot. There are two muscles that run down the back of the leg, and they go right underneath the foot, and they hold the arch up like a sling. So the first thing we do is turn those muscles on, and then we reposition the bony arch in the foot so that the foot now has an arch in it again. This makes it possible now to take the moldable orthotic and mold it right up into the bony arch, so that the orthotic is following the architecturally correct configuration of the foot. Now when the foot walks on that orthotic, it realigns the foot, and in turn it turns on the muscles, and it sends all that proprioceptive information up to the brain, and the brain sends the information back down to the muscles and turns them on. So now the muscles are holding the arch of the foot up. And as the foot goes through the proper range of motion, we have heel strike, weight transfer, and push off, which is the correct pattern that the foot should be going through. And when this happens, the arch doesn't bear weight on the orthotic, because the orthotic is not an arch support. We don't want to support anything on the body that the body should be holding up for itself. So now we have the perfect situation where the foot's going through the proper range of motion. It realigns the ankle, realigns the leg bone, the knee, the hip, the pelvis. All the muscles that were weak and turned off are now strong, and the tight muscles that were too tight are now able to be normal and function synchronistically with the other muscles. So now we get rid of foot pain, leg pain, ankle pain, knee pain, hip pain, back pain. All the underlying causes for these problems disappear. Thank you for listening.